So, you draw it out, hopefully they're down enough, okay, so that the oil stone is going to fit in nice and neat. Now the next step is to get rid of the excess timber, okay? So to do that, I'm going to use your trusty old chisel, okay? And of course, hammer. I'll do this one first, alright? So the one where I took out the most amount of, used the big drill bit, okay? But it's left a lot of timber left inside, okay? Compared to this one. Now, what you'll notice once you started marking out is that the edge is only about 10 mil thick, okay? So it's actually pretty thin. Yep, 10 mil. And 15 mil for the edges, okay? So it's actually not a lot, but in some areas it actually is quite a bit. Alright, so the main issue is if you put your chisel on, get it nice and neat to the line, and you start just hammering the hell out of this, what can happen is, instead of actually just chipping out into the waste area here, you can blow out and split apart your whole bit of timber, okay? Especially when we get to the end grain parts, alright? So, it's actually a good practice not to swing too hard, okay? Delicate, easy as you go is the best and preferred option, alright? So, what you always want to do as well is with the chisel, you've got the ridged side, it's even got 25 mil and a little logo on it, okay? You always want that facing towards the center of the block, okay? So the flat part is going to be facing towards the line that you're chiseling and to the outside, alright? So that way, and I'll rotate it for this side, rotate it for here, and rotate it for here, okay? Always facing the center, no matter what. Cannot be clearer. Ridge part facing the center, okay? What you're going to do is, you're not going to put it dead on the line, okay? You're going to go a little bit ahead of it, okay? So a little bit towards the center. So whenever I say center, I mean this part here, okay? That's the center. So you're just going to go inside, okay, a little bit, and you're just going to tap it down, okay? Because this is a long chisel, or it's actually a regular sized chisel, sometimes it can be awkward trying to get in the exact location. So I put my finger, not on the blade, okay, just up from it, okay, to help me settle it into the place where I need to go, and also walk it. So that means I lean it from one side to the other side, okay, to where it needs to go, give it a wriggle around, stand it upright, 1, 2, 3. You probably can't tell very easily, but all it's doing is creating a couple of little dints, alright? It is important we do this the whole way around, okay? You'll get quicker as you go. A little bit inside, tap, tap, tap. Okay. So notice there, I didn't keep going along, I went to this end and went backwards, okay, and then all I have to do is touch up that little piece in the center. It's just so I don't overstep, I keep it within the line. Alright, so when you're chiseling, I don't want you to chisel past that external line, okay, always keep it within the lines. Done one side, rotate around, do the other side, then we're going to do the edge and the edge, okay, or the end and the end. Alright, same deal, tap, tap, tap. I should note now that the go is, if you split this off at this point in stage, at time, okay, that is your fault, your mistake. Alright, now annoyingly, the battery, I did a whole spiel, showed you how to chisel out, but the battery crapped out on the last take halfway through and I didn't realise. So, this is what I did, okay? I've chiselled out the whole thing nice and flush. Okay, that was on the one with the most with the big holes, okay? So I haven't done the little holes yet. And I've done it so that the oil stone sits in halfway, okay? The way I've gauged it as well is there's a colour difference between the rough and the smooth. The smooth is the lighter, the rough is the darker, okay? So I can know that if I sit it in here right now, I can just see the line of the smooth and I can't, so pretty much the dark side, the rough side, is facing up, alright? Luckily, what you do to one is pretty much the same of what you do to the other. So, the one with all the holes in it, okay? Less timber to take out, it's going to be the same process, alright? So, as I did before, the ridge side facing towards the centre. I can't be clear on that, can I? Alright? And once again, I can't remember if this was covered on the video of the last. You're going to stay a little bit in on the inside, a couple of taps. The difference between these two is that timber's already going to split away straight away. That one you just did a couple of dents in, this one the timber's going to split away straight away. Okay? Which is just going to mean you're going to be doing less chiselling than what I had to do on that one there. I do the sides first, okay, and I go delicately when I get towards the end, because the end is where people normally split the timber all the way off. And unfortunately, you all are people. So therefore, you all have the ability to split the bit of timber. And I'm not sure if it was covered in before, but you split the timber, that is your fault. You have to start again, alright? So that means one of the teachers might be able to cut it back down. You're going to have to redrill the holes, mark it all out, okay? And start anew, alright? So, just doing that, you can tell this side's pretty much along the line, okay, where that side I haven't even started yet, yeah? So I'm going to do the same over here. Keep it inside the lines, okay? I'm not going to hit hard, but I'm not going to hit too soft either, so a couple of good taps. Alright? Okay, it's going to help the timber break away. If you try to chisel all the way down, it's going to split, okay, because it's just, you're pushing too much timber out and it's got too much tension in there, it's going to split out. Okay. Chisel it towards the centre. So it always breaks towards the inside. You want to create what we call a weak spot, a weak point. Alright? Now, the reason why I chisel a little bit in the line, not on the line, is because chisels, they have a ridge. Okay, so that part there is angled. So when it goes into the timber, it kind of pushes itself backwards, okay, towards the flat. So if you start on the line, you're going to end up being a little bit out of the line. So you start inside the line a little bit, push it out towards the line, so you're going to be on the line. Alright? Complicated stuff, I know. It's just how the timber crumbles. And in this instance, it's always easier to take off a little bit more timber after the fact compared to trying to put more timber back on. As you found out when a lot of you did the sawhorses. Okay? Same deal again, a little bit on the inside, hit down. Always staying inside your lines. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to just put it in the bench vise. Okay, coming along the top a little bit, hitting towards, tapping towards, shall I say, the end. Being careful I don't hit it too hard because I just chisel all the way out, which you don't want. Okay, because then it just stuffs up your day. So both ways. Okay, little taps. Okay. Alright. Once they're down enough, you can give them another hit. Downwards. Okay. What you want to do is make sure that you're doing things in little increments. Okay? So the slower you go, the less mistakes you're going to make, okay? Which means the less you're going to have to fix up. So right now I'm sitting inside the line a fair bit. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, so I'm slowly working back towards the line. Okay, going alright so far. I think I've got a little breakaway of timber. It is a bit of the tortoise and the hare type thing, slow and steady with the race. Take you back to your primary school days, I guess. So you got a little chip up there from the vibration. Okay, I can easily glue that down to be nice and flush if I want to. Alright? So the best thing to do is to not lose it with all the chiseling out that I'm going to be doing. Okay, don't let it become a lost little piece. Now, in a lot of workshops, some bloke's going to come out with a hand plane, okay, which is a little tool that you hold onto and you can plane it all up nice and flat to the level that you want. I'd like you guys to learn how to do things based on what tools you're going to have out on site. You have a chisel, you have a hammer, you have a drill, you nearly have drill bits, okay? Learn to use what you've got rather than wishing you had some other tool all the time. That's going to make your life easier. Yeah? Okay? So now I'm just going to go along and make sure. Keeps bouncing out with vibration. I'm going to put it aside over here so I don't lose it. Do any of you have any questions so far? No? Alright, good. Right. Pretty much got most of it out. Sometimes it's easier to work inside the vise, make sure it's nice and tight. Just because then you've got two hands to work with. Okay, so you can kind of slide your chisel along, nice and easy. I work in little juts, not trying to shove through the whole thing at once. Both hands behind, not one in front, because you don't want to slip and embed the chisel in your hand, because that'll just ruin your day. Alright, and if you're pushing too hard, it means you're going to blow out the timber. So sometimes it's best just to get the hammer out and start tapping. Okay, you don't have to be hard. The Oregon and the pine are soft timber, which means they're easy to work. I use a hammer on the side, means I don't have to watch, and I've got more space to swing it, okay? I'm not going to get a claw in the guts. Okay, go along the sides nice and neat, just to make sure they're all nice and straight and parallel. Okay, dig it in too much, just roll it around. So roll around, I mean you dig it in, you lift it up straight, you're cutting anymore, you just push it flat down into the surface, okay? Don't need a lot of pressure, don't need a lot of strength. Okay. Good. Okay. When I made this one, when I was chiseling out that one, the width was good, the length was a little tight. See if it's the same on this one here. Okay, just make sure I cleaned up everything so nothing's in the way to help it slide down. When you are clearing out the dust, you can drag the chisel along, okay? It just helps knock things off and loosen them up. And to blow out dust, don't blow it straight into your face like this, because it's just going to go into there and straight into your eyes. Best thing to do, hold it at the angle, blow over the top of it to blow away, so it blows away from you, okay? Now, the one that I already chiseled out fits the light side. So obviously, I'm not going to sit the light side on this side, I'm going to try to sit the darker side, okay, because that's what will be eventually fitting into this side, okay. Hold it in, sit it above. Okay, it's not bad, it's mainly tight. You can have a look in it to see where it's tight. It's tight along the right hand side here. And I could take a little bit off the length as well, okay, to make it fit in nice and neat. Before I shoved it in and I couldn't get it out easily with my hands, the easiest way to do it is to put it in the vise, so it's just grabbing onto the oil stone. Okay, you don't need the vise too tight. You can wriggle the timber up to lift it off. If that still doesn't work, just lightly tap the timber and it'll peel it off. Simple, simple stuff. So once again, it was the length on this side I need to clean up, and just the ends over here, I just need to take a little bit off them. I find it easier having the side I'm going to work towards me, so that's why I rotated it around. Once again, it's soft wood, so it can be worked easily. And you notice that my hands are always behind the chisel. I have, and if you go into carpentry, you will stab yourself with a chisel at some point. It's as inevitable as you shooting yourself with an arrow. Okay? Best at this stage to prevent it is to learn to always keep your hands behind you. Before, I tried to chisel in the vise and this timber kept knocking down. Okay, it might be because the timber is a bit differently shaped, it's not exactly square, so it's only grabbing onto one side and not as tight on this side, or vice versa. So the easiest thing to do when I'm chiseling the ends is to put it flat on the table, makes it easier to work. What you want to do is sit the chisel on, and you're going to have it on a bit of an angle, facing towards there. It's just going to help slide in. Okay, because if you go straight, it's just going to slide off, okay, because it's going to be the easier thing for it to do. Alright, and what you're going to find, the more you try to get it close to that edge, the more the timber is going to slide away. So grab a quick grip, chuck it on the table, just hold on to your timber so it doesn't slide away from you. Okay, can't see what's in there, it's just a button. So it doesn't slide away from you, so you can keep that pressure going backwards. Okay. About it. Clean up the dust. Light side and that side. So it's dark side and the one that I'm just doing. See how she fits in. And she's pretty good, sits nice and flat. What you want is for this all to sit nice and flat, so sit it in. See how there's no gaps all around, it's sitting nice and, too high, sorry. Sits nice and flat all the way around, yeah? That's what we want. These are pretty even, these are out, alright? Done that on purpose, okay? So the main thing is, chisel fits, the oil stone fits in both sides, so you can easily, it's a bit tight on this side, so I might just loosen it up a bit, I think on the length, because I think the width, I've got a big gap going across this side, so I think it's more the length that's tight. Take a little bit off, just so I can take it out easily with my hands. Alright, I'll do that in the break, and then I'll show you what we're going to do after this, okay?